What's going on, everybody? How you doing? Yes, this is Saturday movie night. The date today is Saturday, May the 30th, 2020, and it's 7:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hello to my patrons, my level 2 and 3 patrons who have made their way into the chat room. Tabitha Short, Jason Knight, Dia Maria, Frank Riker is here. Great to see you guys. I'm sure a few more will be making their way into the chat room as we move along here. Hey, if you are watching after the fact and you're not watching the live feed because you are not a level 2 or 3 patron of mine, this is Saturday movie night, and this is how this works. So I do this show once a month, the last Saturday of every month, and it's exclusive to level number 2 and 3 only in terms of the live broadcast, which is what I'm doing right now. I mean, maybe not when you're watching me, but I think you know what I'm talking about. And how this works, though, is that my level 3 patrons, I put out a poll to my level 3 patrons. So if you want to have the opportunity to vote on what movie I watch on the last Saturday of every month, you have to be part of level number 3. But you can be part of level number 2 and still partake in the live broadcast. So I put out a poll about 4 or 5 days before the last Saturday of every month, and I put up 6 movies, and my level 3 patrons vote on which movie they want to watch, and you guys can watch along with me. It's a watch party. It's like 2 dudes and some bullshit, but it's just one dude and some shit without the bull. I don't know how it goes, right? So if that interests you, there is a Patreon link in the description below if you want to be a part of that. It's fun. We've watched all sorts of movies on here. This month's theme was black and white, so I put up a list of some black and white movies, some old black and white movies. Thanks to Darren Sands, of course, who is one of my great moderators and level 3 patron on the channel, who over on my Patreon only Facebook page, which is McRae Patrons, that's exclusive to all patrons. He put up a list of movies that he thought might be a good idea to put on the list towards the end of the month, and that's what I did. We had The Elephant Man on there. We had Night of the Living Dead on there. We had the original Invasion of the Body... the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers on there. For a minute, I was like, wait, did I put the 78 one on there? Because that's not the right one. No. The original. We had that on the list. We had Rope, Alfred Hitchcock's Rope on the list. We had, I think I even put the Spiral Staircase on there. Or was it called the Spiral Staircase or just the Staircase? I think it was the Spiral Staircase. I'm drawing a blank on that. Anyway, great black and white movies on there, but the movie that won out was Night of the Living Dead, the original from 1968, directed, shot, written, produced, everything by the late George A. Romero, who passed away actually not that long ago. So, but that is what people voted on. It won out by quite a big margin, although I will say the last few months the voting has been closer, but this one was essentially a landslide for Night of the Living Dead. So that is what we are going to watch tonight, and I have lined up my movie. I'm just watching it from YouTube. So I am hang on a second here. Let me just, I'm going to hit play here, and I'm going to tell you where I am. 1 second here. Okay, so I am like 1 second into when it cuts into the road, right? I'm watching it in black and white, by the way, because that was the original intention of the movie. I've seen it in color, and it loses, no. So I'm watching it in black and white. I highly recommend that you guys watch it in black and white as well. And I am 5 seconds into the YouTube stream, but 1 second essentially after it cuts in, right? It cuts in from black into the road, and you hear boom, boom, boom. I'm like 1 second. Like as soon as it does that, that's where I've paused it. So I'll give you a couple seconds to line up yours as well. Ingbert Rottington has made his way into the chat room as well. Great to see you here as well, my friend. This should be good. Now, I watched this movie not that long ago. I even think Tony and I did I don't think we did a watch party on it because we've started doing that since last October, but I think we did do a show where we talked about it. And that was a good show, but yeah, Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so this is Night of the Living Dead. I think we should get started. All right, folks, are you ready for this? Are you ready? I am ready. Are you ready at home? Let's do this. Okay, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, there we are. Love that old music. It's great stuff. An Image 10 production is what is on the screen for me right now. Just went away. We can see the car way in the distance. I love that shot. Love seeing it way in the distance. And I don't think they don't cut in for a close-up, right? They just leave it here like this and let the car move or drive past the camera and go out of frame. Yes, that's exactly the creative choice I would have made. It's exactly what I would have done. It's great. Love it.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it. Just stop it. Night of the Living Dead. I love how night, I forgot about this, night is all in lowercase. Fascinating. Screenplay by John Russo and George Romero. It's before he added the A. Production designer, Vincent Servinsky. Production manager, George Casana. Photographed by the late Image, well, whatever it said there. That would have been the company. Love this. You know what? In a really good black and white version of this movie, it still holds up. It looks pretty good. I got to say, I'm digging it. Just moving my windows around here so I can see you guys. Yeah, this is good. Of course, as a young kid, I didn't watch this movie first. As a lot of us horror Halloween, well, not everybody, but of course, I was introduced to Night of the Living Dead through Halloween 2. as well.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it! Stop it!
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Imagine that's what he did. Like, what the hell is this guy doing? And he keels over and dies. That's the end of the movie. Roll the credits. Directed by George. Oh, there's the A. Directed by George A. Romero, right on the American flag. I wonder if that was intentional. I wonder if he thought about that in post. Like, I want to put my name directed by as we see the American flag. It's a great soundtrack. Oh, look at that hairdo. Look at these two. It's like my parents. This is basically how old my parents. This is basically my mom and dad. In 1968. Because in 1968, my dad would have been 26. He would have been 26. And my mom would have been 24. So you kind of like, that this is kind of what they look like. Not exactly, but pretty close.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Dia Maria says, very eerie. I agree, Dia. I totally agree. Ethan LeBlanc is here. He says, one of my favorite black and white movies is the original, The Day the Earth Stood Still. Ooh, that is good. I haven't seen that in a long time, but that is good. That is good. Yeah, come on, John. You're here. Fuck. What a turd. Like, seriously,
Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming back on the air. Gotta have that old 1960 radio sound.
Of course, when they shot this movie,
That just was the sound. That just was what you sounded like when you were on the radio. News report coming in now. John F. Kennedy has been assassinated in Dallas.
That's what it sounded like. Of course, now that kind of voice or a radio voice like this is kind of a character. It's a caricature now. But that's what announcers sounded like back then. That just was what they were. They weren't doing a voice. They're just what they were. Yeah, this looks good. I mean, it's beautifully photographed. I remember the last time I saw this, there are some things in here that are, it's more through the editing. It's more through the editing, really. But it's photographed well. Like, it's shot well. And like I said, I believe George A. Romero, he directed this. He helped write it, of course. And I think he shot the movie. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's also the DP on this film. But I do stand to be corrected. Jason Knight says, my internet is lousy today up north. Oh, no. Well, that's all right, Jason. Just, hey, you're here. You're hanging out. That's what we are, just a bunch of friends hanging out. I should remind those, of course, who are watching after the fact, who may not be familiar with Saturday movie nights. This is not a director's commentary. I'm not here to teach you things or, give you all sorts of insights into the making of this movie. So, I mean, sometimes there are films where I do that because I know a lot about a movie, and sometimes I don't know a lot about a movie. This movie is kind of in between. I know some things, I don't know some others. But that's not the point of Saturday movie night. The point is it's just a bunch of friends hanging out, watching a movie, and we all contribute and talk about it or, whatever. You know what I mean? So if you're looking to learn all about, I didn't direct this movie, just so you know. Well, I don't go to church anymore, woman. I don't give a shit about that. Imagine he said that. Like, what the hell? Ingbert Roddington, talking to Tabitha Short, says, I've been watching for a long time, but became a patron a couple of months ago. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I remember when you did. Dia Maria says, oh, that sucks. Are you? Oh, right. Talking to Jason. Yeah. Well, hopefully your internet will be all right. Maybe you'll be in and out a bit, but that's okay. Ethan LeBlanc says, I definitely appreciate black and white movies more the older I get. Oh, dude, there's so many great black and white films. I mean, oh, here it comes.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it. You're ignorant.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it. You're acting like a child. I don't think... Wow, he got really close really quickly. I don't think any horror fan that's her brother though, right? They're brother and sister though, right? They're not like together. Not together. Hopefully they're not together in any way. Yeah, this is like, yeah. Brother and sis. That's right. Thanks, Dia. Look at this fight. I wonder if this is choreographed. Ooh, yeah. 1968 fight style. Love it. Love that light. It's supposed to be lightning, but it's very concentrated, right? So it's very like it's like a single light. So, but you see, again, it's 1968. It's a low budget B horror movie at best. I think it cost about $125,000 to make, which, just to put it in perspective, is just essentially like the cost of Never Hike Alone and Never Hike in the Snow. That is essentially, it's a bit. Those two films are a bit. Less than that, but that's essentially the cost of this movie. I mean, it's a low budget film, and it's 1968. Was this 16 millimeter? This might have been shot on 16 too. Although I'm not sure about that. People watching after the fact who are obsessed with this movie can comment below and let me know. But I always liked this movie. Because it was one of the first, if not the first of its kind. It started, of course, it launched George A. Romero's career for all intents and purposes. He really was not known. I mean, he did a few other things, but I mean, he's primarily known as the zombie guy, and that's really his, that's it. But again, just sort of, going back to what Ethan was saying, I think the older although I've always appreciated black and white films, and I've always watched them, the older I get, the more I find myself appreciating them even more and more as well. There are some wonderful stories to be told. And I think, again, although this isn't an exact, I don't want to say science, nothing scientific about it, but although I do understand that this is very subjective, I think the real key to, appreciating an older film, if you're not into watching black and white movies, and this comes with wisdom and age as well. I mean, I don't expect somebody who's 15 to be able to intellectualize this the way we are here, but is to remember the context for which you're watching it. In terms of the when the movie was released, it's how you appreciate films like Psycho and The Exorcist, and if they're really good and then they might still hold up, right? This movie is clearly an old B movie, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't say, I say it holds up very well for what it is, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's held up as if it's still, but it's great for what it is. But this music, bum, 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 bum. My voice cracked there. I think of Halloween 2 from 1981. You know, I do. Because it's what I watched as a kid. I was introduced to this movie through that movie. You know what I mean? As a lot of us were. But yeah, the trick to watching older black and white films is especially horror films, but any movie, is watch them and remembering that the time frame for which you, for the time and the era for when the movie was released. Like I always said, when Psycho was released in 1960, that was the first North American movie at the very least. It might have been the first movie, but it was the first North American movie, and you've heard me say this, that ever showed a toilet flushing. Like, just think about that. Now go watch the movie and go, oh my God, if audiences had never seen a toilet flush, holy Jesus, like, it was terrifying. Psycho was terrifying. It might seem a little tame and lame to somebody who's 17 now, but if you were 17 in 1960, you would have been terrified. You know what I mean? And there's so many different reasons as to why that I've talked about before on the channel. Same with The Exorcist. There's a lot of things about The Exorcist of why it was so terrifying, you know? You got to watch these older films within their context of the years that they were released. And I find the older I've gotten, it's helped me really enjoy a lot of old black and white films, no matter what it is. And that doesn't mean that every black and white film is great, you know, but certainly your staples, whether it's horror or not, really, I found myself really appreciating these older films a lot more as well. Yeah, could not agree with you more, Ethan. Like, again, a couple of weeks ago, I watched Sunset Boulevard. Not a horror film, but oh my God, is that a tremendous movie. Oh, starring the late Gloria Swanson, the silent film actress, in sort of a satirical, somewhat, you know, kind of spoof of her own life, but not really. Anyway, fantastic movie. Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, All About Eve, Touch of Evil, Eyes Without a Face, Rope, Psycho, you know, Gaslighting. Is that what that one's called? I forget. There's one called Gaslighting, I think. That was a good one too. There's so many great ones. The Dorian Gray one too, that was really good. There's so many great ones. So many great ones. And of course, and then there's the one that everybody knows, like Casablanca and Gone with the Wind. But man, there's a lot more than just those. So terrific. Anyways, I'm at the part here where Barbara is in the house. Night has fallen. She's staring out the window. The stiff is looking around. A couple of guys are coming up to her. Or up to the window, trying to get in. She's got the butcher knife. This might be the original Laurie Strode right here. Kind of looks like Laurie Strode's wig from Halloween 2, and she's got the butcher knife. Hey, it kind of looks like that. The layout of this house looks very much like the Myers house. Holy Jesus, I just noticed that. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's ever noticed this before. That's creepy. Coming up the stairs, seeing the skeleton there. It's like, whoa! But does that not, it's the same layout as the Myers house. But I will tell you this. There's a lot of old houses from that era that have that layout. I've been inside them. I've seen them. I've seen them in movies. I shot in one for my little fan film a couple years ago to create the impression that that we were inside the Myers house. You know, it's not hard to find a house from that era, you know, a little wartime home, country home with a narrow staircase that's to the left with an, you know, a railing at the top and an opening. It was a pretty common layout, but I didn't even realize that this house looks pretty similar. Guy's trying to call somebody. He ain't calling anybody, motherfucker. There's nobody there. Ethan LeBlanc says, Halloween would be interesting to watch in black and white. A couple people have watched it in black and white. I've yet to do that, but I wouldn't mind doing that. I wouldn't mind watching it in black and white. just to see what it's like. Dia Maria says, wow, would be kind of cool. I agree. What do we else got going on here? Jason Knight says, if anyone's interested, I'm going live on Facebook in the group Monday between 5:30 and 6 p.m. to give my ranking of Friday the 13th. Very cool. That is McRae patrons. Very cool. Well, and if anybody watching who is level 2 or 3, or even if you're a patron, a level 1 patron, but you're watching after the fact, and you're like, oh, there's a Patreon-only Facebook page? You're entitled to it. Shoot me a message on Patreon, and I will double-check that you are a patron, and then I will give you the link to it. New patrons, by the way, if you become a new patron, you'll get a thank you message when you sign up, and there will be a link right then and there for you to access the McRae patron page, and then one of my moderators will approve you, or me if I get to it first.
Coming to get you, but
Oh, he's dead now anyway. He's long gone, folks. He's long gone. Ingbert Roddington says, I'm intrigued to watch Halloween that way. Yeah, a lot of people are. Frank Riker says, watch Halloween in blue and white. Yeah, let's all watch Halloween in blue and white, shall we? Two of them. That's going to get worse. I love the ending of this movie where they're all like in the house and like crowding in and shit. She's hysterical. Calm that bitch down. No. Calm her down. It's like a cartoon. It becomes like a Looney Tunes cartoon. And this was like, again, like I said, I mean, I'm not saying that in 1968 this was like watching Psycho. But this was, I mean, for those that did watch it, this was, you know, a revolutionary film for its genre, for its subgenre in terms of zombies and this type of thing. It was scary for a lot of people. And of course it spawned the sequel. I think the sequel was Dawn of the Dead, right? But Dawn of the Dead was, I think that was like 10 years later. It was like 77, 78, something like that. Chat room will let me know. And then I think Day of the Dead was the third one, right? Day of the Dead, I think, which was the 80s. I think that was the mid-80s one or whatever. Frank Riker says, remember, a black man as a lead was a huge step taken in the 60s. You're absolutely right. I was just thinking that, actually. You're absolutely right. Yep. No, I mean, this was still an era where that was not very common at all. So for a black man to be, and again, he's sharing, you know, the screen with, you know, with others, but he's clearly that source of strength, that source of strength and that source of reason. Now he does get into it with others that arrive on scene, of course, and whether or not, you know, what's the right decision to do here to battle these zombies, but certainly he is a source of strength, and that was not very common to see in the 60s. That is very true, Frank. Oh, I love that. The head bops down and see the hole in the face. Did we pass the one where you see the body at the top of the stairs, but yet it's not a skeleton face anymore or something? It was a bit of a continuity error. Oh, right in the face. Yes. And so simple. Now, naturally, as the budgets grew, the makeup and the prosthetics and, you know, the special effects obviously grew as well. But it's simple, but it's great. It's great. Tab of the Short says, was Psycho made the same year as this movie? No, Psycho was, yeah, there you go. Dia Maria's got you. Dia Maria's got you. Dia Maria going hard in the paint, man. She's got you. She's got you, Tab. She's got you. What is that one? Was it Dawn of the Dead or Day of the Dead? The one where there's the girl in the, she I think it's the opening of the movie. It was at the beginning of Stranger Things season 3, I think, where they're in the theater and all those arms are coming through the walls. That was one of that's a Romero zombie film, right? Is that Day of the Dead or Dawn of the Dead? Dawn of the Dead was 78. That had to have been Day of the Dead then. That had to have been Day of the Dead. if I'm thinking correctly in terms of chronological. It was Day of the Dead. Ingbert, thanks, buddy. I love that. I love that scene. I got to admit, I haven't seen Day of the Dead in years. I've only seen Day of the Dead once. I've seen Dawn of the Dead, the original, a few times, and I really like it. But I haven't seen Day of the Dead in years, and I forgot about that scene where all the arms are coming. I love that. It looks so, I don't know, like it could be like an Iron Maiden album cover or something. I don't know. It just looks really cool. Or Quiet Riot with that. I think that one with the guy in the straight jacket. I'm totally just dating myself. But anyway, I think that was Quiet Riot, wasn't it? Isn't that the album they had the guy in the straight jacket? Was that Quiet Riot, or did I just fucking butcher that? Anyway, Dia Maria says, haven't seen any of them. You know what? We'll have to put them on here. I'll put them on here. I'll put on a Dawn of the Dead or a Day of the Dead and see if it gets any votes. They're fun. They're fun. They're this, but to the next level. Like Dawn of the Dead, I believe, like the whole thing essentially takes place in a shopping mall. That's pretty cool. There was the remake that Zack Snyder did in 2004, which was actually pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of Zack Snyder, but I do enjoy that Dawn of the Dead remake. What the heck is this guy's name? What the heck is this guy's character's name? Because I want to make sure that I call him by his character's name. What's his character's name? Or do we know? I wasn't paying attention. I was yapping and analyzing and getting excited about zombies. Ben. Okay, Ben. All right, Ben. That's right. You understand, Barbara? Ben and Barbara. It's Ben and Barbara. Yes. Can you imagine if they fell in love? Whoa, that would have been in 1968? Like an interracial kind of like, what the fuck? I mean, there were interracial relationships back then. There were, but they were largely, I mean, not everyone, but it was still a fairly like, oh, seriously? Okay. You know what I mean? But I think it's great to see this guy, yeah, in the lead. Ben and Barbara, big whoa. Yeah, that's right, Dia. Absolutely. Would have been like, what the hell? At least we've come a long way in that regard. She's at the point here where she's looking at the music box and I like that. I like the camera work here. Yeah, you got to watch this movie in black and white. Like, I don't even know why you would colorize black and white films unless you just think that, well, let's colorize the black. Like, I can understand people colorizing a black and white film as like an experiment, you know, to see what it's like how you would watch Halloween in black and white. You like decolorize it, right? I can understand that. But to colorize it and like release it officially that way, which they have done, by the way, you can rent this movie on YouTube in color. I would never do that. I would be livid. I'd be like, but that wasn't, it's a black and white movie, you know? And this movie didn't have to be released at a time in 1968 in black and white. I mean, that was a creative choice that Romero wanted to do. You know, he could have released this movie in color, but he didn't. What's going on here? Frank Riker says, do not go to this house to sell cookies if Ben's home. That's right. That's right, Frank. He's boarding things up. He's getting doors and he's boarding things up, and Barbara just looks as useless as a three-legged stool right here. She's just like, oh, she's trying to help. She's touching the door and holding it or caressing it or whatever else she's doing. If I was Ben, I'd be like, hey, come on! Well, Ben's trying. He's trying, man. He's trying. I don't think that's going to do shit, though. See, I would never I think they did this for the movie, obviously, so they could have a moment like that. But I would never put a beam up and then a beam this way, but leave an opening there, because then the zombies can grab onto through the opening. They can grab onto it and pull at the nails and take the thing off. You got to like board it up like it's like the boards are all right beside each other, like you see businesses do when they get ready for hurricanes or something like that. You know what I mean? You'll see like the boards. That's what these guys do. But maybe he can't do it. He can't do it. Actually, it works, because if it's messy, it shows that they don't have enough shit, and they just have to like improvise and just put up shit, and it's messy and it's organic, and it's just like, we need to put something up there. It works. I'm thinking way too hard about this, and I acknowledge that. Ethan LeBlanc says, I would advise caution. It's a tough watch. Tough watch. Which one are you talking about? Oh, anyone seen... Oh, Ethan says, anyone seen Human Centipede 2? That's quite an unforgettable black and white movie. Human Centipede 2? No, I haven't. I have not seen that. Dia says, poor man doing everything himself. Come on, woman! He starts talking like that. Come on! He's handy. You can tell that he's been through this shit. He's been through it. I love that they're inside the house, but you can still hear the crickets outside. I really like that. I like that. Because it lets you know that there's openings, you know? And you can hear, you can kind of, yeah, I like it a lot. Yeah. Screaming. It's okay, Ben. I'm with you, buddy. Yeah, it's all right, man. I got you. Fucking Ben, he's been through hell. Dia Maria says, I'll have to see what it's about. Sounds cool. The Human Centipede one, yeah. Ethan says, modern day movie deliberately made in black and white, and I think it's only made it creepier. I didn't see the first one. Has anybody seen that one with Ashley Judd, Bug? I think it was called Bug. I never saw that one. Frank Riker says the 1990 version had a good cast. Yeah, was that the one that was directed by Tom Savini? Or was that Return of the Living Dead? Because there was a Night of the Living Dead, which I think was a TV movie. And then there was, or was that Return of the Living? I get them mixed up sometimes. It was. Okay. Yeah, because I think there was a remake of this, but there was also unless that is the one that I'm thinking of. Johnny, oh yeah. Yeah, he's dead. Your brother's dead. Actually, don't we see her? No, we see her brother towards the end of the movie because he's part of that group. I remember that. Yeah, well. Didn't have any candy. Tab the Short says, I believe I've only seen this movie one or two other times. It's been a while since I've seen it. The first time I saw it, I think as a teenager was the first time I saw it. Johnny. Is this woman still alive? It's kind of sad sometimes when I watch older movies from the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, and you look at, the people that are in those films, I sometimes think, wow, no, I'm not necessarily saying her, but most people are like dead, and if somebody in a 1950s film is already in their 60s, like they're dead, it's crazy to think. Life goes on. Life doesn't stop, just goes on. And when we all die, it'll just keep going. I'll just keep going. It's depressing. Dia Maria says she's tripping. She is. She's tripping. My gosh, she's becoming hysterical. That's right. I like Ben's voice. He's like,
I think you just need to calm down.
I like that. I like he's got good pipes. He's got good pipes.
I think you just need to calm down.
I like that. It's got a bit of a southern twang in there. Just very slight. Very
calm down.
I like it. Dia says she needs some Thorazine. Yes! My God, she needs some Thorazine. Fucking blah, boom, bada, boom, boom. Oh, my goodness. Intel Wild has made it in. Great to see you here, Intel. Well, yeah, he is out there, Barbara, but he's dead. He's dead, Barbara. He's dead. It's over. It's over. Now, Barbara, it's done. You're done.
Yeah.
Yes, he is dead. Oh. Oh! 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 Whoa! Woo! Oh! She slaps him and he's like, oh yeah, bitch. Oh! You could never get away with that now. Can you imagine? You could never get away with that. Look, I forget what, and I'm not making this up. There was some movie my girlfriend and I were watching. This is a couple years ago. I can't remember the name of the movie. I don't know if it was something that we were flipping around and it happened to be on Turner Classic Movies or something like that. It was something like that. We were watching this thing. We weren't watching it, but it was on. We were just kind of, watching it a little bit. And I forget the movie. I'm sure I could find it online. But in the movie, the man, it's an old black and white film, takes the woman. They were having some sort of dispute like this, I think. Takes the woman, literally bends her over his knee and starts slapping her ass. I'm not making that up. Now you would think that that has a whole other meaning today, but that's not what they were going for in 1930 or 40 or whatever this movie was. It was funny, and both my girlfriend and I like, what? Why are you kidding? It was kind of like, what? I gotta look this movie up. I gotta find it, because it was just like, whoa, holy shit! You can't do that now, unless of course it's in an entirely different way. But yeah, you certainly couldn't have. There'd be a bit of. Even though I'm somebody that thinks that. Context is very important, and you cannot throw context out the window. Certainly, a woman slapping a man and the man just hauling off and decking the woman wouldn't fly very well. Wouldn't fly very well. But hey, it's 1968. So I'm at the scene here where Ben is throwing gasoline on the chair and things like that. And he's throwing in not gasoline, sorry, lighter fluid. Well, same kind of thing, I guess. Let's see here. Dia Maria says, yep, they had that kind of scene in 50 Shades of Grey. Filthy, 50, excuse me. Of course, filthy. It could be that too. I never saw 50 Shades of Grey, but I have no doubt that they had that scene and then some in 50 Shades of Grey. But this wasn't 50 Shades of Grey. This was like, I gotta find it. It's gotta be, especially today, right? Like it's gotta be, if I was to Google, old movie, man slaps ass or man bends, you know what I mean? Something like that. I'd probably be able to find it. Oh, they don't like fire. Yeah, come on, Ben. That's right. You fucking son of a... Ben's getting in on it. Good job, Ben. Good job. I like that. I like that you have, especially in a low budget film, you can't show the vastness of the problem. So you just have a radio on in the background and a guy just going,
and the president and his cabinet are trying to get a hold of the situation, and the entire problem is now taking up the entire third of the eastern seaboard, and blah, 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 and we're having a situation here.
and having that run in the background as you're handling the situation at hand where you are, it's great for a low budget film. It helps to create that sense of, fuck, this isn't just happening here. This is happening potentially all across the United States, maybe even the world. We don't know. Like, we don't know what the fuck is going on right now. And I like that. I like that. It's really easy to do, and it's perfect. Although I will say that there is a bit of a continuity. I think this is a continuity error, because it's nighttime where they are, and then remember when they all start watching the TV? I think it's a live report, and it's daytime in Washington, but it's nighttime where they are. It's kind of like, I think that, unless I'm missing something, I don't know. We'll have to see it again here in a second. Jason Knight says, Dave, did you see my Quint impression from Jaws posted in the group? I love laughing at myself. Yes, I think I did. Did I not like it? I think I did see it. Yeah, because you were doing the
head, the tail, the whole damn thing.
I did see it. It was really good. It was fun. I thought I liked it. If I didn't like it, my apologies. I will go and try to remember to like it. Yeah, it was good. It was good. I like that. I love that you guys are just taking advantage of the page and posting shit, and yeah, it's just fun to see. It's great to see you guys doing that, because it's just awesome. It's awesome. I get a kick out of it. I get a kick out of the things you post, the photos you post, the videos you post. I think it's great that, Jason, if you want to do a Facebook Live thing again on that, I think that's great. Eat it up, man. And do whatever guys, just do it. Eat it up. Do it. Come on. Come on. Barbara, I guess, is still trying to come to after being decked out by Ben here. It's essentially what's happening. Dia Maria says, Jason, you and Dave need to do a Quint impressions while having an argument would make my day. We might have to put that on the list, Dia. We might have to put that on the list. And again, that news report is still going on in the background, which is very effective. It's perfect. In a low budget film where you don't have the money or the resources to show mass zombie apocalyptic invasion. That's what you do. And that's all you had to do, but they took it a step further to try to show a little bit of Washington DC, and I think get the Capitol building in there too, if I'm not mistaken. So that was kind of fun. It sounds good. It sounds like an actual report.
They got a good guy to do it, talk like this. Law enforcement agencies are asking the public to seek shelter inside of a building. We definitely need you to.
It's great. I believe it. I buy it. I buy that it's a news report. It doesn't sound like some, it sounds legit, and I like that. Did Ben apologize for punching her in the face? Did she apologize for slapping Ben in the cheek? I don't know. Maybe they just have an agreement, like, okay. All right. Got that music. He's like, okay. I love that. Oh, yeah, here it is. He comes up the stairs where the body is now. Ben's coming up the stairs where the body is, where that skeletal was at the very beginning when Barbara went up. But when he puts her in, or whatever he does here, you can tell that it's not a skeletal face, and that was just That was, yeah, right there, right there. You can tell that it's not a skeletal face. And they should have done something to her face. Even if they just made her face up to look fucked up and weird, that would have been fine. That would have been fine. But to not do anything on her face, I think was a mistake. But even the upstairs there, even the upstairs looks like the Myers house. It does. It does. I'm telling you, Barbara, he ain't coming back. He ain't coming back. David Ferguson made it in. David Ferguson, it must be very late where you are. And of course, obviously, you are a new dad. Congratulations again to David Ferguson, who has made it in. And let me see here. What is he? He says, hey, folks, I just dropped into the chat room to say thank you for all your well wishes to my daughter, my girlfriend, and I. It's 1:47 a.m. in Norway, and the baby has just woken up for a feed. You guys rock. David, thank you so much for taking the time to stop in, man. We really appreciate it. We understand, especially during these very early months, your attention is going to be very much required because obviously it is a newborn baby, and totally understand, man. You go do what you got to do and be dad. That is the most important job you have right now, and we really appreciate you stopping in and saying hi, man. I mean, that's just awesome. Yeah, awesome. Awesome stuff. Yeah, take care, David, and, send our wishes to your girlfriend and your new baby daughter, right? I think it's a girl you had, right? A girl that was born on my birthday, if I'm not mistaken. Ho, 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 ho. It's a very special baby. So now the two other guys have now made it into the scene here. The bald-headed guy. I don't know these characters' names off by heart. Damn, I should. Ben and Barbara and these other two. Oh, here we go. It's going to be an argument. I don't know. I think they can get in. Ben, I think you're being maybe a little presumptuous there. I think they can get in. Intel Wild says, wish I would have gotten in on that Facebook thing you guys did for Dave's B-Day. Well, that's okay. Next time, right? Next time, Intel. There's always going to be a next time. That was Maria's idea. Maybe what of course, I know it was a surprise. So you couldn't really let me in on it. But if you're part of the Facebook group page, it might be easy to message everybody and get everybody in on it. But you were there in spirit, Intel. You were there in spirit. Yes, Gemini's rock. Are you a Gemini too, Dia? That's pretty cool if you are. Geminis do rock. Tab the Short says, it's all good. I'm trying to follow too, feeding Austin and watching the movie. Frank Riker says, Dave, what would your dad say in a broadcast? Something like, get the fuck out, you idiots. No, my dad wouldn't swear because obviously, he would have been on national television or the radio. And this was, long before Sirius XM and satellite and things like that. So you were still regulated. Here in Canada, it's the CRTC. In the United States, it's the FCC or the Federal something Commission. No, my dad was just he was good at getting people riled up. He knew how to push people's buttons and the right things to say. And because he was so convincing, people bought it. And it's not that he didn't believe what he was saying, but he knew how. It's like me, right? Like it's like me saying, you know, God, that fucking thing is dog shit. Now, my dad wouldn't say that because he couldn't say that because, you know, this is before the internet and YouTube where you could just do that and not get in trouble, right? But it would be his own version of that. Or he'd write things that, you know, were like that. Like I remember my dad, and I was living with my dad at this time. This is going back to the late 80s, maybe early 90s. There was a donut shop, an independent chain. So it wasn't like a Tim Hortons if you live in Canada or a Dunkin' Donuts if you live in the States. It was just like a mom and pop type of donut shop. It was called Tommy's Donuts. It's not there anymore. And it was, my dad used to say it was always dead inside. But my dad liked going in because my dad liked those eclectic, greasy spoon type places with character. And my dad was just that kind of guy. You know what I mean? If my dad could live above a convenience store his entire life, he probably would have. But he was just that kind of guy. So Tommy's Donuts. Oh, wait. So hang on. We're at a scene here. Oh, wait. The zombies are trying to get in. They're grabbing at the shirts and shit. They got the shotgun out. Ben's got the shotgun. Great camera work here. I like it. I think the music, though, the music should be a little... For a minute, I thought that was Ben that got shot. I don't know why. They're saying they're wearing the same colored shirt, although I guess everything's black and white, and it's kind of hard to make out. So anyway, my dad used to always say that Tommy's Donuts, there was never anything on the shelf. That, you know, they were always out. Some of the donuts were stale and blah, blah, blah. So my dad wrote about it. My dad wrote a column basically saying how crappy Tommy's Donuts were. But he did it my dad was a writer. So when you read it, it was so well written. Like it was a well-crafted, you know, it wasn't like a YouTube comment, you know, where it was a bunch of ranting and, you know, it was really well written, but it was like he was burning people, but in a educated sounded way. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but you know, anyway, but Tommy's Donuts threatened to sue my dad if he didn't write an apology. So my dad didn't write an apology, but he wrote I forget how he wrote something else or whatever. But my dad had a lot of things like that. He also, there's a Canadian folk singer by the name of Tom Connors, known as Stompin' Tom Connors. He was the one that wrote the hockey song, if you're familiar with the hockey song. It's like, hello out there, we're on the air. Dun, 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 dun. It was a big song. He used to play it at, like, you know, NHL games and things like that. And my dad used to think it's a great song, but it's kind of lame to play it at professional hockey games. My dad was just stirring shit. You know what I mean? Anyway, he got into this thing with Stompin' Tom Connors. So when Stompin' Tom Connors had a concert, he had a big photograph of my dad on stage. And as he was playing, he would stomp on my dad's face. That's true. But you see, the thing, my dad, like, he could piss you off one moment, but he could write something incredibly beautiful the next day about, you know, veterans or you know, society or, you know, whatever. Or he'd write a great story about, you know, he'd try to bring to light something that was going on in the community or in the country or something. And he'd make you love him. And then the next day he's writing about how something's dog shit. And, you know, it was interesting. It was an interesting time as a kid growing up in his, you know, in my house, let's just say. Come on, man. So now I think everybody's there, although I don't see the brunette yet. Has she made it in? They're all trapped inside that house. And what a great thing to do. If you want to minimize your budget, now again, it all depends on how professional you want to do your movie, right? Like, you know, without giving too much away, I mean, It's Me, Billy essentially has one location. Essentially. Which obviously minimizes costs. but it's still like a $50,000 picture. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's because everything else that goes into it, right? The production value, the gear, the equipment, the camera, the location rentals, the craft services, the insurance, the this, that, and the other. I mean, everything is, you know, it costs a lot of money. So it's all relative. Oh, there's the brunette. That's right. She's in the basement. And that's right. I forgot about the daughter. But if you want to minimize your budget, have a single location. Yeah, have a house, an apartment building, you know, yeah, something like that. And that will definitely bring your budget down for sure. Who's taking off here? Let me see here. Intel Wild says, gotta go get gas. I'll try to be back. All right, Intel, take care. Drive safely. David Ferguson says, I like the way they allude to a space probe that crashes to Earth from Venus that causes the zombie uprising. I thought that would make a good prequel movie. Ooh, David, I like the way you're thinking, buddy. That might be interesting. You're right. They did say that, and they don't really... Do they ever talk about that again in the subsequent sequels? Like, do we hear that referenced again in Dawn of the Dead or Day of the Dead? Actually, I remember the 2005 movie Land of the Dead, which was shot right here in Toronto. I knew a couple of people that worked on it. Nothing. Didn't say anything yet, son of a bitch. Jason Dyke says, it's the good old hockey game. That's right. That's the song. Yeah, Stompin' Tom Connors, yeah, when he was doing some sort of concert in the early 90s to a sellout crowd of, I don't know, however many, he had a big, gigantic blow-up photo of my dad's face. I think it was the picture my dad used at the top of his column in the paper. I think it was that picture, and he had that blown up and on stage, and he would... It was great. My dad had job offers from Sports Illustrated, the Chicago Sun-Times, and the New York Post. And I forget what happened. There's various... Now that cut... Oh, damn it. I forgot to... There was an odd cut here. There's an odd cut about 51 minutes and 45 seconds into the movie. And it's a strange cut. Clearly, they were piecing two things together, and I guess they just said, fuck it. You know, we don't have the budget to reshoot this, obviously, so it's going to be a jump cut here. But it is a clear jump cut, about 51 minutes and 45 seconds into the movie, with the bald man and his wife, I guess, in the basement. There's a weird kind of awkward cut there. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, so he had job offers from them, and I was too young. I may not have even been born when he got the Sports Illustrated offer. I don't even know if I was born when he got the Chicago Sun-Times offer. I was alive and born, and because I was about 12 or 13 when he got the New York Post offer. And I forget why that fell through, but yeah, I could have moved to New York in 1992 or 3. I could have grown up there. I forget what happened with all that, and why it never came to be. I got to go help Ben with the television. That's right. Poor Barbara. She's just a useless stooge on the couch. Come on, Barbara. Listen, we know your brother's dead, but come on. This brunette, what's her name? Is she still alive? Or any of these actors? Some of them have to be dead. She looks a little bit, not quite, but she sort of had, not Barbara, but this brunette here, she sort of has, at a glance, if you weren't kind of like a Joan Crawford vibe, just a smidgy bit in her eyes a little bit. But Helen Cooper, don't be afraid of me. I'm Helen Cooper. Yeah, Barbara, like, come on. Get with it. Unbelievable. Frank Reicher says if they were to do that, the Hollywood would mess it up by saying zombies are aliens with green blood. Oh, that might be true, man. Ethan LeBlanc says I like the spot for the new Michael staircase photo. Dave looks like he's watching you from afar. Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, that was given to me by Mason James. Mason, I don't know if he's in the room here. I think Mason's level 3. If he's not level 3, I think he's at least level 2. So he could be watching right now. Maybe he's watching after the fact. Yeah, thank you so much, man. I love it. It's fantastic. I was figuring out where to put it because I don't really have a lot of room for much else. So I just propped it up in my booth there in the corner. So I thought it looks kind of cool. So people can see it every time I'm on. Let me see. Dia Maria says, I love that shot of Michael. I love the shot of Michael when he comes up the stairs and is going after. Oh, yes. Like, you can't kill the boogeyman. Oh, my God. It's one of my favorite shots of Michael Myers ever. When I met Nick Castle about 5 years ago at Fan Expo here in Toronto, of course, he had a lot of photos on his table, right, as they do. And that was one. And I was like, that's the one I want you to sign. So he signed it to Dave, the voice man, Nick Castle, the shape. And I was like, that's great. So, and we shot the shit for like 15 minutes because there was nobody there. I just walked up to his table. There was literally nobody there. So we talked Halloween. We talked Halloween fan films. I showed him a clip from one of my little fan shorts, and he was like, oh, that's so awesome. That's so cool. And we just shot the shit for a bit. Now, I don't think he would remember me because that was 5 years ago now, and he's met so many people since then. But that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. 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 Oh, it's one of my favorite shots of him. Awesome. Like that whole sequence when they, run and he's walking and it's that power shot, low angles. He comes in, above the camera. Oh, it's just amazing. Awesome shit. Tabitha Short says, Dave, didn't we watch this on a movie night semi recently? I remember watching this not too long ago. Did we do a Night of the Living Dead on a Saturday movie night? I don't think we did. Did we? We didn't do this on a Saturday movie night. I know Tony and I talked about this. Tony and I talked about this on a Two Dudes episode last year. We talked about this on a Two Dudes episode last year. But I don't think Tony and I have watched it. Like, ever since Halloween, October 31st, 2019, last Halloween, Tony and I have restructured the Two Dude show into like a watch party, right? Which is great because we have the movie up. It's more interactive for you guys, and we get to sort of comment and analyze in real time. Of course, we can't stop and go back because we got to keep it, we got to keep it organic. And I know that we... So I don't think we've watched it since we restructured Two Dudes, but I do think it was maybe one of the last of the old format where we would watch it prior and then just talk about it on the show. I think we did that, but I don't think I've done this on a Saturday movie night because I think you guys would have let me know, like, hey, Dave, we did this Saturday movie night already. So you might be thinking of the Two Dudes. Of course, watch, I go back and I'm like, oh my God, we did do it. That'd be so funny. I don't think we did though. Let me check. Now you got me all wondering. Let me check. Going to my little, okay, here. All right, let me just go here and go there. And Saturday movie night. Okay, so I'm looking at all the way. The very first one we ever did was Halloween 4, Halloween 2, Elm Street, Jaws, Nightmare, Halloween 2, Child's Play, The Fog, Friday the 13th, Halloween, Nightmare, Halloween, Sleepaway Camp, Now when I say Halloween, it's, Halloween 4 or 6, 5, whatever. Sleepaway Camp, Christine, Pet Sematary, Freddy's Dead, Psycho, The New Kids, and Night of the Living Dead. No, so we haven't. Okay. I was worried that I was like, have we done this on Saturday movie night? That would be so lame. We haven't. Okay, good. Oh, wait, shit. Yeah, now, isn't this supposed to be live? Now, this television broadcast, which was a great idea to do, because it's that extra above and beyond the news report that you hear in the background, and you're shooting it in front of the Capitol building, which is fantastic. It gives you that believability, right? But this is clearly the daytime. Is this supposed to be live while what's going on at the house is going on? Because this is daytime and the house is at nighttime. I think this is a mistake. A big mistake. That I wonder if those watching this movie for the first time in 1968, if they themselves were like, why is it daytime there? Jason Knight says, see you, Dave. Have a good one. Oh, is that David Ferguson? Going to have to go, folks. Enjoy the rest of the night. Good night, David. Take care. Take care. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Willard Medical Center on science and technology.
Frank says, bye, Dad. That's great. I love it. Fidel Castro. Yeah, he did kind of look like Fidel Castro. So where am I here? I am 1 hour and 55 seconds into the movie here. They're still watching the news report with the Greensburg Green Hospital text on the television. That's where I am here. Dia Maria says, Ben is such a big shot. I love it. He is, man. He's moving to the beat of his own drum here. He really is. He thinks he's got it all nailed down, you know. He thinks he knows what to do. Ben is taking charge, ladies and gentlemen. He's taking charge. See, I love that. I believe that news report. I do. I buy it. I think the girl succumbs. Doesn't she succumb to it? Like she becomes a zombie too, I think, at the end or something. Fuck, I forget. Thanks, Judy. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Judy. Jason Knight says, I'm surprised I'm still in the group after I told everyone my Halloween ranking. Oh, you told everyone your Halloween ranking? I didn't see that. Hey, everybody's entitled to it, man. If your favorite's Halloween Resurrection, all the power to you, man. I can never take that away from you. I don't agree with it, but I could never take it away from you. Yeah, let's get little Michael Myers in there. There he is. There we go. Good old Michael. He's in there now. He's in there. He's in the shot. It's funny. He's like, is there a fruit seller here? Yes. I thought he was going to be like, all right, we need some fruit. What kind of fruit? I don't know. Strawberries? Plums? Why? I'm hungry, man. I'm hungry. Got to listen to Ben, man. You got to listen to Ben. It's got to listen to Ben. I can handle the truck. No sweat. Oh, yeah, that's right. They go out to the truck. That's right. I forgot about this. This doesn't end well for them. I think this is where he dies, right? Or something like, yeah. Somebody gets fucking, because the truck blows up or something. See, Ben's taking charge, man. Ben is taking charge. He knows what to do. Ben's ready. He's ready. The bald guy here, what's his name? Howard? Is Howard his name? Howard something? He's got a big bruise on his head. Oh, this guy wants to ham it up with this woman. Hi, how are you? Smile like that for me. There's like a wildly inappropriate sex scene right in the middle of this movie, and you're like, the fuck? Why would you, what the hell? What the hell's going on? That's what I'd be thinking. Hey, if you could only call the folks, man, that's what I'm talking about. If you could only call the folks. Am I right? I'm right. Huh? That's right. Yeah. Dia Maria, there's a smile. That's right. There's that smile. It's kind of creepy the way he says it. Jason Dyke says, I would rather give you guys my honest opinion. Of course. Of course. I would never, and I know you were being sarcastic, of course, but I would never ban anybody from anything for loving what they love. Never. I mean, who the hell would do that? Well, maybe if you're Devontae Huntley, maybe. For those of you that don't know, Devontae Huntley is a serial troll that likes to frequent my channel and others, lashing out irrationally and thinking he's doing something, I don't know, constructive, I guess. You guys are going to die. You're going to die, man. No, but you got to listen. Fuck. Unbelievable. Ethan LeBlanc says, Jason, for Rob Zombie's H2, if he had kept Michael in his right clothes with the mask intact, I would be able to stomach the movie way more. But Hobo Michael just took me out of it too much. You're not alone, Ethan. You're not alone. Dia Maria says, I would. I'll give anyone a super Ben punch. You love H5 or if you love H5 or Resurrection, you'd give anybody. Oh, I see what you're saying. A super Ben punch. There we go. That's better. First time didn't sound enough. It was like, what the hell? Where'd the sound go? God, Barbara's been useless. I never realized how useless Barbara really is in this movie. She's useless. I mean, I understand that her brother just died, and I understand that she essentially witnessed the death of her brother, but you know, he was being a little bitch right before he died. They're coming to get you, Barbara. Stop it! They're coming for you, Barbara. Just stop it! And then he dies. I mean, I'd be like, yeah, you see? That's what you get. That's what you get for fucking around. You know what I'm saying? Son of a bitch. Oh, they're taking the wood off the door. Oh, man. It's not going to end well. It's not going to end well. This is intense. You know shit's going to go down. Of course you do. I've seen the movie before. We all do. We all know. Oh, there he is. He's looking at her. He's looking back, being like, is this the last time we're going to see each other? Look at that so tracking on his face with the catch lights in his eyes. He's looking at her like, baby, I love you. I've got to do this. That's his voice inside his head. He's going, I love you. I got to do this. Now, the zombies just really look like a bunch of neighbors, a bunch of intoxicated neighbors that have forgotten where their house is. I mean, that's almost what... I got to admit, there's some shots where the zombies just look like intoxicated neighbors who've woken up from their sleep. They're in their pajamas and underwear, stumbling around the yard, trying to figure out how to get back to their house. I mean, that's essentially sort of what it kind of plays. Oh my God, they got the Molotov cocktails there. They're just thrown out the window. It's right, the fire. Oh, one's on fire right now. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's it. You know what I'm talking about. Go, run. So the girl didn't go with him. Ben's going. Oh, he just fucking tore his shirt off. He was like fucking Hulk Hogan. That was great. Come on, start that car, man. It's not going to end well. No, she's got to go. She's going for her man. They're going to die together. Oh, shit. And she's not at the car. And she's in between the car and the house and Ben and the car and Ben and the car and the house and Ben and she and Ben and the car. Fuck. Oh, yeah. Again. Fire again. Fire at your neighbors. Come on. Hey, man, if they don't know where the fuck they're going, if they've just woken up, it's not Ben's problem, man. I thought the whole car... Wait a minute. Shut up, Dave, and just watch. That's right. Get that fire going. Yeah, I'd have like 2 torches, and I'd be like... That's what I'd be doing. Car's backing up. That's right. It almost looks like that Phelps mechanic truck from Phelps garage truck from Halloween. A little bit. I think so, right? Let me just see here. Yeah, a little bit. Not quite, but the same sort of style. Not exactly, but, in the same vein, as they say. Oh! Ow! Wait, did he put gasoline on the truck on purpose? No, he couldn't have done that. Or did he? Fuck, I can't remember. I was bouncing around between stuff here. Ingbert Rottington says, Barbara's just throwing apples at them she got from the fruit seller. Ben, damn it, woman. That's right. Ethan LeBlanc says, I've always been curious to know how long I'd last in a zombie apocalypse. I think I could do pretty well. I think so too, man. Zombies are pretty slow. I think I do pretty good. I've been jogging for 25 years. So I wouldn't say that I'm a marathon runner, and I'm not like, Usain Bolt, but certainly I can run, and I have good stamina, and I work out, so fairly strong for a guy my size. I think I do okay. It's the running, just got to get away from the zombies, man. You and me, Ethan, we'll hook up, man. We'll get some ammo, and we'll just fucking go to town together, man. We're out there, buddy. We're out there. That's right. So yeah, I was right. The car goes up in flames. Ben's out there shooting these people. Jesus, it's not going to work. Ben, come on. Get back in the house, Ben. Fucking crazy neighbors. Fucking crazy. Jesus. Boom, boom, boom. I like that. Dun, dun, dun. Boom, 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 boom. Dun, dun, dun. Boom, 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 boom. Dun, 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 boom. I like that shit. Cooper, let him in. He doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to let the guy in. You got to let the guy in, man. You got to let him in. Fuck. At least he let him in. The music in this movie is it is similar to what you heard in, like, I'm not saying it, I don't know who did the music. Maybe it was Romero. I don't know. No, but it's similar. Like the same style is similar to like those old classic Godzilla movies from the 60s. in the 70s, especially the music right here, like boom, 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 dun, 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 boom, 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 boom. Of course, you also hear that music as well in Halloween 2 from 1981, when Michael is at the hospital walking. He's on the security cameras because everybody that night is watching Night of the Living Dead, on TV. And, boom, 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 boom. You do hear that there. But that style of boom, 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 you kind of hear that in some Godzilla movies as well. Ben the Champ. Ben is the champ, man. He's fucking turned shit on fucking. Oh, they're eating the body and the flesh. Yes. Well, at least they died together, right? Right? Because they died, right? Together. I love this. I love seeing them out in the lawn just eating the stuff, and they're fighting for it, and it's so great. A lot of kids can, laugh at this stuff and he kind of looked at the camera there just a bit. That one zombie. But if it wasn't for Night of the Living Dead, you may not have World War Z. You may not have 28 Days Later. You may not have, Shaun of the Dead. You may not have, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Land of the Dead, Return of the Living Dead. I mean, any zombie, it was the first, essentially the first of its kind, and certainly it's almost like what Evil Dead is. Even though Evil Dead 2 is almost like a remake of Evil Dead in some ways. It's like that movie that you make for low budget, but it's like, wow, there's a lot of potential here that we could expand on this. If we had a higher budget, think of everything that, we could do to really create, like one of my favorite zombie films is, hang on a sec, I want to make sure. Just looking something up. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, 20 Days Later isn't quite a zombie movie per se. I just wanted to make sure. It has that element to it because of what it's about, but I can understand why it wouldn't be considered a zombie movie per se. So I stand corrected on that. Although I do love that movie. But certainly all the others that I mentioned, I mean, you wouldn't necessarily, or any zombie film, you wouldn't necessarily have them because there's a lot of zombie films out there now. But yeah, 28 Days Later. 28 Days Later is a post-apocalyptic film, but zombie movie, not really. It's got an element to it that's kind of like that, but not really. You can't start the car. Johnny has. If I was Ben, I'd be like, woman, now listen, woman, shut the fuck up about Johnny. He's kind of doing that right now, sort of in his own polite Ben way, because Ben's a cool dude, man. Gotta love Ben. What? Oh my God, that fucking bare ass right there. Was that a guy or a girl? I don't know. You know what? If it wasn't for Ben, I mean, they may be. That's a handsome man. his boxers. Going back to the news report again, of course. I am an hour and 18 minutes and 15 seconds into the movie. That's about where we are here. Ethan LeBlanc says, I used to be. I just didn't like it where they went with the story. Oh, it's great to see you guys talking amongst each other as well. It's great. Oh, The Walking Dead TV show. That's right. How could I forget that? Yes, that's another good example of something that may not exist, Certainly Night of the Living Dead is to zombie films what a Psycho or Halloween is to the slasher genre, in many respects. You know what I mean? And again, it doesn't mean that if Night of the Living Dead never happened, there would never be zombie movies. It doesn't mean that, but the trajectory would be different. How you got there, whether it would catch on in the pop culture, whether it would have the same pop culture footprint. Who knows? Who knows, right? Maybe, but who knows? Now, again, these things are like here. Yeah, the shit. Like, this is during the day. Is this live? Because if it's live, once again, that doesn't quite add up to... doesn't quite add up, folks. Doesn't quite add... I know, cigar in the hat. I know. And I have trouble sort of believing that he's a chief. I don't know. Now, this guy who's doing the reporting, he definitely looks like a news reporter. I totally buy that. Totally buy that. You hear that? You hear that, Ben? Shoot him in the head. If you can't, get a club or a torch. They go up pretty easily. All right. You can tell this chief here is trying to remember his lines, and but it actually comes off as organic. It comes off as like he's really thinking about what he has to say, and it doesn't. It just seems, it's okay if it comes off as a little wooden or like he's maybe acting or whatever, because he's not acting, because it should, because he's not supposed to be an actor, right? He's a chief of police. So if he's like, yeah, we're not too sure, but yeah, like if it comes off a little bit like that, it works. It does. It works. See, then of course we cut back, power into now. Of course, yeah, we're moving towards the climax here of this movie. Slap him in the head. That's right. Slap him in the head, folks. I mean, Barbara, she's just sitting there like a lump on a log. Fascinating. I love that they're picking up. Oh, yeah. Look at that fog or dry ice. Oh, this is it. They're starting. Oh, this is it. You're going down. What are you going to do now? Love the use of light and shadow here. Like, see, and this is the kind of shit that you don't get when you watch it in color. You don't watch this movie in color. Like, you don't watch Psycho in color. Don't watch Psycho in color. Don't watch this movie in color. There's a lot of movies you just don't want to watch in color. Well, come on. You're just going to stand there? You're going to help your wife or your... See, Ben's doing all the fucking dirty work, man. Howard, or this, whatever his name is, the white guy here, he's just a lump on a log. Get the fucking guy out of there. I'd help you, Ben. I'll fucking help you, buddy. He's lost it. He's lost all control. But then again, he's got his daughter in the basement, I think, right? Isn't that his daughter in the basement? Was that his daughter? Dia Maria says, I'll get Ben to punch her again. That's right. That's right. Yeah, Barbara's just like, what the hell? I think they should sacrifice Barbara. Because you see, then it would distract them a little bit and buy them some more time. Just punch Barbara in the face again so she falls unconscious, and just open the door and like toss her out there. Ah! And then like, and then they'd be like, and they'd be eating her alive and the fucking flesh flying everywhere. It'd be great. Go help your woman. Oh, no, wait a minute. He's, was he shot? What the hell happened there? I totally fucking missed it because I was doing zombie noises. He can't help his woman now because he's on the verge of dying, falling. He's trying to get to the basement. Oh, it's over now, buddy. You're done. You're done. You fucked up. But he's going to bite his daughter. That's right. He does, because the daughter sits up, I think, like a Michael Myers style later, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Fuck. Again, I haven't seen this movie in a little bit. And admittedly, it's not one that I watch on a regular basis, but I have seen it a number of times. Somebody, Barbara, go over there and help her. That's right, Barbara. Oh my God, Barbara. Yes. Fucking yes. Barbara has sat around like a fucking lump on a log for the entire movie, but there she is coming to the rescue. Way to go, Barbara. Hip, hip, hooray for Barbara. I love that. She comes to the basement. Her own daughter's been eating her father. There she is. No. It's not poor baby, man. Get out of there. Get out of there. Oh, you trip, and then she picks up the... Oh, man. Love seeing that shot of the kid with the thing. It's great. Coming down her POV shot, back and forth, cutting back and forth, seeing the woman's face. Love that. Oh, boom, boom, Hitchcock style. Not seeing anything going into the flesh. We're not seeing it. We're just seeing the insinuation of it. That's great, with the shadow and the silhouette and the music and the blood. More blood on her face and her eyes going like this and just the silhouette coming down. It's great. Great. That's great old school shit. That was terrifying in 1968. Terrifying. And Barbara's in there. She's pushing. She's like, fucking just, come on, Barbara. I'm so impressed with her vigilance. I'm so impressed. Tabitha says it's like David's watched this for the first time. I just get into it. I get into it. Yes, there's Johnny. No, he's a zombie. He's a zombie. He's a zombie. Dia Maria says she got the hoe. She did. But they're too much. They're all coming in. And there's the, oh my God, the daughter right there. It's great shit. It's play-by-play announcer. Just call me Dave Generette. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Ethan LeBlanc says, I'm not currently watching, but it sounds like this Barbara person is taking a beating. No, she's, well, kind of, yeah. She was taken into all the zombies. I think she's dead now, right? Because she was like taken, because all she cared about was her brother, and she couldn't deal with it. Now it's just Ben. What are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do? Like, look at all. I love this. I've always loved this scene. They're all in the house, right? Trying to like go and, trying to get into the room, and it's great. I love it. I love the camera work and how they're all, and the light and shadow. Ben's just sitting there like, it's just him, man. This is it, buddy. This is it. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, Ben? What are you going to do? Seeing the dead bodies, you have to shoot him. Come on, you've wanted to shoot this fucker the whole movie. He's wanted to shoot Howard. I think it's Howard. It's probably not his name. Yeah, that's right. Look at him. He's taking pleasure in it too. He's like, fucking. Well, actually, no, he took no pleasure in it, and that's why he's having a moment here. But Ethan LeBlanc says, I had to refresh the feed, and the first thing I hear is, he's a zombie. Scared the heck out of me. Oh. Oh, the eyes opening up. See, that wasn't an overused cliche in 1968. You got to shoot her. No, he does. He doesn't do it. He's going to give in. What are you going to do, Ben? What are you going to do? They're coming for you, Ben. They're coming to get you, Ben. Stop it, man. Stop it. It's a whole different movie there. Oh, Ben, come on, man. It's like they're so they're just kind of walking around aimlessly. I tell you though, if you ever needed to outrun a zombie, I think you could. And it just kind of fades out there to the next day. So now it's morning. Beautiful shots, beautiful sunrise. It kind of looks like maybe it's mid-morning. 10. Here comes a helicopter. And there they all are. There they all are. Helicopters landing in the field, in a field. Oh, what's going on here? Who's leaving? Who's leaving? Jason Knight says, gotta go, everyone. Take care and see you in the movies. If you guys want to talk Friday the 13th, I'll be live at 5:30 p.m. on Monday. Cool. Take care, Jason. Thanks, buddy. Have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great rest of your weekend. We're almost at the end here. It's a few more minutes. They're getting the dogs out of the cars. There's the sheriff or the chief or whatever. I think I remember. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, it appears to be under control. But it ain't. Ben survived. And yet, Ben survived. And yet, here we go. So sad. Great way to end it, though. Great way to end it. Shoot him in the head. Look at that station wagon. It's like Halloween-ish. Of course, this movie's 10 years before Halloween. I only need a few men to check out the house. These just look like a bunch of vigilant. Well, I guess in some ways it kind of is. That's right. That's right. Dia Maria. And yet, that's right. They didn't think, they thought he was. I love seeing this. I love how they're just getting the last remnants of the zombies out in the field, though. I like that. Ben now is lifting the bar off of the door. He's going to open the door. This sucks. I feel bad for Ben. I really do. But it's a great way. That's like, oh, it's like The Mist. Well, not, but you know what I mean, right? I say it like Foghorn Leghorn. I mean, you know what I mean, though, right? It's like, oh, it's sad, it sucks, but that's why it's good. That's why it works. It's like, oh no, love that stuff. All right, go down and give him a hand. See, if I was Ben right now, I'd be going, help me, help me. Oh, no! What a great way to end that movie. You survive all of that. You make it to the morning. Everybody else around you dies. And that's how you go out. See, what he should have done is he should have been like, hello, help me, please don't shoot, please do not shoot, help me. Of course, that's taking it realistically, right? Oh, man. Dia Maria says, when I first saw this, I nearly cried. I know. It's like, oh, are you kidding? And of course, we go to the end credits here with the still shots and everything, which is great. I love it. Yep, I love it. Folks, that is it, my man. That is it. That is George A. Romero's 1968 Night of the Living Dead, the original. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching along with me. If you're watching after the fact, thanks for tuning in. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you to all my patrons who tuned into the live feed, my level 2 and 3 patrons, of course. But thank you to all my patrons, no matter which level you are a part of, whether you tune in or not, whether you take part in anything we do here or not. I really appreciate your support each and every month. It does not go unnoticed. It keeps these shows and this channel going, and we couldn't do this kind of stuff without you. So I really do appreciate it. And thanks again for another awesome Saturday movie night. I had a lot of fun. I think this was a good one. I'll definitely do some more black and white themed Saturday movie nights, because there's quite a few that I think you guys that maybe I've seen that I would love you guys to see as well. And maybe we could watch it together or something like that. That'd be a lot of fun, Good stuff. Good times, good stuff. So thank you, Tabitha. Thank you, Frank and Ethan and David Ferguson that made it in here, and Jason Nike, of course, and Ingbert Roddington and Dia Maria and Frank Riker and Ethan LeBlanc. And there was a bunch of you guys that made it in throughout the course of the show. So thank you so much for doing that. Have a great rest of your weekend. Don't forget, Monday night, 7 o'clock p.m. Oh, I thought I froze there for a minute. But anyway, Monday night, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, episode 72 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. Tony and I are watching Evil Dead 2. Ooh. Make sure you tune in to that. All right, folks, that's it for me. In the meantime and in between time, I will talk to you guys soon. Cheers.